The finest steel has to go through the hottest fire. Namaskar everyone, welcome to Next IAS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to discuss important places जो कि अभी recently news में थी and they are also relevant for UPSC. So without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion with Estonia. It was in the news because recently Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs announced that the government would set up digital embassies in the country to facilitate seamless digital transfers and continuity for other nations. And do you know friends, Estonia is one of the world's most mature countries in digital administration. Now let's know more about Estonia. So friends, it is a Baltic country on the southern coast of the Gulf of Finland, which is an arm of the Baltic Sea. It is bordered by Latvia and Russia and it shares maritime borders with Finland and Sweden. And its capital is Tallinn. Now let's know more about Estonia. So friends, it became independent in 1991 by the Soviet Union and it joined both European Union and NATO in 2004. It is one of the few parliamentary republics in which president is a ceremonial figurehead without even nominal executive powers. Here president is not directly elected by the voters but by the parliament. These points we have already discussed with the help of map. Now let's learn geographical features of Estonia through the map. Estonian landscape is largely product of glacial activity. East Estonia is bounded by Russia predominantly by Nava River and Lake Peipus, which is the largest lake of Estonia. Estonia abounds in rivers which flow to the Gulf of Finland, to the Gulf of Riga and into the Lake of Peipus. Its longest river is Parnu River. And other rivers of Estonia are Peza, Nava and Kasari. And highest peak of Estonia is Svarmunamagi. Now friends, let's go to South Africa. It was in the news because recently India and South Africa signed a long pending agreement to translocate 12 cheetahs to India. And the cheetahs will be transported to India by February end and reintroduced at the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh, where 8 such cats were brought from Namibia in September 2022 under a similar agreement. Now let's know more about South Africa. So friends, it is the southernmost country on the African continent and it is bordered by Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Swaziland. Now let's learn some key facts related to South Africa. Its executive capital is Pretoria, its judicial capital is Bloemfontein and its legislative capital is Cape Town. This point we have already discussed. And friends, South Africa has constitutional multi-party democracy with 3 spheres and these are local, provincial and national government. Now let's look at the geographical features of South Africa. The mountain kingdom of Lesotho is landlocked by South African territory in the southeast. And its largest river is Orange River. Barberton Greenstone Belt, also known as Makhanjwa Mountains, contains some of the oldest exposed rocks on Earth. The warm Mozambique Aglaas Current skirts the east and south coast, and the cold Benguela Current flows along the west coast. The Cape of Good Hope, which is the southwesternmost point of Africa, also known as Graveyard of Ships, is a prominent headland that sailors once feared because of its cliffs. And do you know friends, South Africa is largest producer of platinum and it is home to the largest impact crater on earth, the Vredefort crater. And South Africa has its own floral kingdom. And do you know friends, South Africa has no significant natural lakes and artificial lakes are used mostly for crop irrigation. This is the geographical map of South Africa. Now friends, let's go to Lebanon. It was in the news because recently Lebanon has devalued its currency by 90% from its current official rate, which has remained unchanged for 25 years. Lebanon has taken this step to address a deep economic crisis. Now friends, let's know more about Lebanon. Its capital is Beirut and it is the mountainous nation in the Levant with coastline on the eastern Mediterranean Sea. Now let's learn these points with the help of map. So friends, Lebanon is the mountainous nation and it is located on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. It is bordered by Syria and Israel. An anti-Lebanon mountain range forms long stretches of the border between Lebanon and Syria in the east. And Lebanon shares maritime borders with Cyprus. Now let's look at its geographical features. So friends, a narrow coastplain along the Mediterranean Sea, the Lebanon mountains, Bekaa Valley and anti-Lebanon and Hermon ranges running parallel to Lebanese mountains. And its biggest river is Litani River. Now friends, let's go to Myanmar. 2 years after seizing power in a coup coup, Myanmar's leaders have extended the country's state of emergency for another 6 months. Now let's know more about Myanmar. Let's understand these points with the help of map. So friends, its capital is Naypyidaw and it is the largest country in the mainland Southeast Asia. इसके northwest में है Bangladesh and India, northeast में इसके है China, ईस्ट एंड साउथ ईस्ट में है इसके लाओस एंड थाईलैंड, साउथ एंड साउथ वेस्ट में है इसके अंडमान सी एंड बे ऑफ बंगाल. नाउ लेट्स नो द हिस्ट्री ऑफ म्यांमार. It is formerly known as Burma, and the British East India Company seized the control of the administration of Myanmar after 3 Anglo-Burmese wars in 19th century, and country became British colony. After a brief Japanese occupation, Myanmar was reconquered by allies and gained independence in 1948. Now let's look at the geographical features of Myanmar. Hangdong Mountains forms the border with China, and many mountain ranges such as Rakhine Yoma, the Bago Yoma, the Shan Hills and Tanaserim Hills exist within Myanmar, all of which run north to south from the Himalayas. Now let's understand these points with the help of map. So friends, Myanmar's highest point is Hakakabo Razi, which is located in Kachin state. The mountain chains divide Myanmar's 3 river systems, which are the Irrawaddy, Salween and Situang rivers. And do you know friends, Irrawaddy river is the Myanmar's longest river, which flows into the Gulf of Mertabon. And the majority of Myanmar's population lives in the Irrawaddy Valley, which is situated between Rakhine Yoma and Shan Plateau. Now in the last, let's go to Munroe Thuruthu Island. So friends, a recent study conducted by the National Center for Earth Science Studies has revealed that anthropogenic interventions as the main reasons for the plight of Munroe Thuruthu residents, and researchers offer tips to save the sinking Munroe Thuruthu Island. Now let's know more about the island. So friends, it is located near the Kollam district of Kerala, and it is in the confluence of Astamudi Lake and Kallada River in Kerala. And according to recent study, almost 39% of the land area of Munroe Thuruthu has been lost, with Piringalam and Cheriakadavu Islands recording a land depletion of around 12% and 47% respectively. The island's subsidence began with the construction of Thenmala Dam under Kallada Irrigation Project. Now friends, multidisciplinary research conducted during the last 5 years calls for suitable strategies to protect the highly vulnerable estuarine ecosystem and proposes reverse landscaping as an innovative methodology to retrieve the landscape's original geomorphic state. As you can see here, this is the location of Munroe Island. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening. Be happy, be nice.